This video of a cop is going massively viral. Apparently, it was caught high AF. And the dude filming it is just screaming like, yo, your dude is caught high on the job. You're going to get fired. You're going to lose your job. And the weird thing about it is the other cops are just saying like he worked back-to-back doubles. That's why he's sitting there blinking, shaking, can't respond. Now, I don't know if this man was high AF. They're just saying he was having a medical episode. That's the official news report. I'm going to play this video for you. It is kind of annoying where the guy's just screaming, you're caught, you're going to lose your job. Some are saying maybe this cop accidentally had touched some fentanyl. I don't know about all that, but let me just say this. If it really was a medical episode, how come these other cops are just like, nah, like they're not doing anything? Like, bro, the dude's either having like a stroke or something. Let's play this video, and then I'll show you guys. I don't know, the guy yelling. These auditors, people are like, they're annoying, but check this out.
Look at him. Look at him.
Oh,
look at him.
So,
high as fuck.
I would say
high as fucking on the job.
Like I told
Gonna
you.
come and deal with shit.
No. Like I told you, you're coming off a double and you got on a bad back.
It's
so
alright.
relax.
Yep. Call your sergeant right now.
Bad back.
Call your sergeant.
That's what he said.
We're not gonna
Call your sergeant.
Oh, man.
Call your sergeant. I want your sergeant here. I have my rights to call a sergeant here. So call your sergeant right now.
All right, we're gonna call.
Call your sergeant. What's your name?
Officer Mason.
What's your name?
Officer
What's your name?
They
Protecting him. What's your name?
What's my name?
Yeah.
Officer Sapinski.
And what's your name? Probably don't even know.
I think he's high.
Speak.
I think he's high. I'm not here to rag on the cops or play any stupid game. I don't know these guys. I don't know what's going on. I think he's high, but I don't think it's like this dude is doing recreational drugs. They said he just got off a double and he's got a bad back. How much you want to bet they prescribed him painkillers for his back? He took it and it messed him up.
Nope.
So,
No, this motherfucker's high. Look at him.
No, I'm
Gonna lose your job, motherfucker.
He says you're
Gonna
wrong.
lose your job. Gonna lose your job,
This is not-
motherfucker. Look at him. Look
Wow.
at him. Gonna lose his job. Gonna lose his job. The drug motherfucker coming to the job, trying to correct me. Yup. Look at him. Call your sergeant. Call your sergeant. Yeah. Trying to protect his boyfriend.
It is weird, dude. They should have pulled that guy.
As a partner too. I would. Fucking disgrace. Disgrace, bro. This guy. Look at this guy. No.
You guys will leave. Come on.
No, I want to talk to the sergeant.
No, there's no sergeant.
I want to get him fired.
Yeah.
He's gonna get
It's not,
fired.
it's so stupid. It's not going to
Come
happen.
on, Joseph,
Yeah,
come on,
I
buddy.
wanna
We're
talk.
all talking.
And come at me
All
wrong.
having a good time, buddy.
He
Come
never
on.
came in on you. Nobody.
Nobody's
He's doing his
disrespecting you
job.
or
He
nothing,
came
buddy.
in.
Come on, buddy.
It's funny. It's funny.
such a civil issue.
No.
Close the door on him.
Oh, that's cool.
Close the door. No. Why are you touching me? Don't touch me.
You're in my personal space.
I'm not
Let's
in
go.
your personal
Yes,
space.
you are, man.
You're
go.
protecting your
The
buddy.
cops
No,
aren't doing
no,
anything.
no.
This
You can
guy's
arrest
so
me for this.
angry.
No,
Go right ahead.
I can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Look at him. Look at him. What you do, buddy?
What?
What you do?
What do you mean? What I
you-
do? I didn't do anything.
Did you shoot up? Too much shrooms?
Okay.
Or something? What's wrong, buddy? Too much to
back
drink
to
on the
the
job? Nope. And you can stop touching me. Don't fucking touch me.
Listen, you're not
Don't
personal
fucking touch
space.
me. I'm not in your personal
You
space.
just were.
Why? Because I got your buddy fucking high as fuck?
Oh,
I
his
told you, he
people,
has a
dude.
bad back and he worked a fucking double.
Oh, yeah, that's why he's acting like that. You can
Shit,
stop
yeah.
trying to push up on me, bro.
I'm not. I'm
What?
standing right here.
What's your name and badge number?
I already told you. Officer Sapinski, my badge number is
All right.
163.
For touching me, we're gonna go.
Really?
Okay?
How are we going to go?
We're going to go?
You know that.
How?
Where are we going to go?
I'll bring you to court
Okay.
for touching
To
me.
court.
Okay.
So you're mad at this
I'm not
guy.
mad.
You're mad at this guy.
Oh, dude, that was hilarious. We're going to go. You know what that means. You know what that means. And he's like, oh, yeah? Did you just threaten an officer? Bro, I'm not here to defend cops or play any stupid games. But the police department has its problems. And I mean that like a general institution. But, bro, of all the videos, so check this out. This dude who posted it, the Glarer says, please share this video of a Lynn, Mass cop who was clearly intoxicated on a routine stop while his fellow officers refused to contact their sergeant and continue to harass the person filming. Bro, I have seen so many videos. I've seen so many videos of cops being bad cops. They're all over the place. This one, people are sharing it. I'm seeing so much. It's got 7 million views. And this is like one of the stupidest videos ever. I don't know what to tell you guys. Listen, me and the fam got pulled over the other day. We did. And we were like, what are we getting pulled over for in our little white Honda, like just doing nothing? We didn't put the sticker on the plate, the registration. The cop walks up and says, the reason for the stop is that your registration on the plate is expired. And we were like, whoops. And he was like, no problem. Here's a warning. Just, put it on. We were like, we don't have it with us. Like we just like auto renew everything. And he was like, no problem. Just want to let you know. And we just give you a warning. And I'm just like almost the overwhelming majority of interactions I have with police are just like kind of tame and boring and inconvenience at most. But yeah, you're supposed to have your plates registered because they want to know who's driving, because it's like not the worst thing in the world. There are these like anarchists and libertarians who are like, I shouldn't tell you who I am. And blah. Dude, I'm kind of okay with some degree of communal enforcement with like the police department. These cops in this video, they're just standing there. They're not like shaking anybody down. They're not being mean. They're not harassing anybody. They said the dude's worked back-to-back doubles and he's got a bad back. That's why he's acting like that. I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think homie was dehydrated. You know what's kind of crazy is it could be drugs. They were saying he was having a medical episode. I get dehydrated. I once got dehydrated a couple of years ago. I missed the show. I got super dehydrated. I go to the hospital, and I didn't even know it was wrong. Seriously, because I didn't know I was dehydrated. You got to understand this. Drinking water ain't going to solve your problems. I had like electrolyte imbalance or something. And I forgot what it was. Like we went skiing, and it's cold, so you're not really sweating. You don't realize like you're on a high altitude. And when snowboarding, like I'm being specific, went to a ski resort. So the next day I was like, I feel really weird. I feel lightheaded. I drank water. I ate food, and I'm like, that must be the problem. It didn't solve it. And I'm like, something's wrong. And they were like, oh yeah, you're dehydrated. And I'm like, but I drink water. Yeah, water doesn't rehydrate you. You got to drink electrolytes to be able to keep that proper balance and hydration. I was like, that's simple. They gave me an IV bag and ready to go. I think this cop probably was, I think it's not unreasonable to say he probably was on medication. Oh, he's got a bad back. They may as well have just said, I'll put it like this. I know why people like this video and why they're sharing it, because they're like, oh, if cops question you or do this to you, you get shaken down. But when they do it, totally get it. I watched this video. It's actually really funny, where a guy is like, he's filming outside of a police department, and it says like guy pulls Uno reverse on cops, and the cop comes out and he's like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, excuse me? And the cop's like, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm the one asking the questions. What are you doing here? The cop's like, what? And he's like, what's your name? Have you had anything to drink? And everyone's laughing because this guy who's not a cop is throwing it back on the cops, asking him questions the way they ask him. I get it. So now I understand why people are sharing this video. If you were outside, or let's say this, you're driving a car and you get out of your car and you're like shaking and you're doing that, you will get arrested on the spot for DUI. No question. And if you said, listen, I'm not high, I just worked a back-to-back double and I have back pain, I got a bad back, they'd go, okay. You got any painkillers? Now we got probable cause. He's got back pain, and he's acting like he's on painkillers. That's reasonable suspicion. They're going to play those games, dude. And you know how I know? Because I have experienced this. I told this story before, but for those that hadn't heard it. When I was like 19, I think. I had just worked at back-to-back doubles. I worked Saturday from 5:30 a.m. until 11:30 at O'Hare. Then I slept in the airport because you get off at 11:30. I got to be back at work at 5:30. So I just fall asleep for a few hours in a chair, uncomfortable, wake up and do the double again. And then I'm driving home and I'm tired and I slept in my contact lenses and I'm wearing my uniform as a jumpsuit. You know, I got, my eyes are red. Indeed. And I'm driving and I'm not crashing or swerving. Cop pulls me over and says, improper use of turn signal. And I'm like, I was like, howdy, is there a problem? And the first thing the cop does, he goes, whoa, what's that smell? And I was like, what smell? And he's like, I smell marijuana. Sir, I'm going to ask you to step out of the vehicle. Bull. I'm wearing my American Airlines jumpsuit. We get drug tested all the time. Loading planes, responsible, not as much as the pilots, but responsible. We don't crash this plane. There's people on it. And we lock these little vehicles and we push the planes back. It's called the pushback. You may have seen it if you've been to an airport. They attach the vehicle to it and then you drive it and it pushes the plane backwards. So the cop takes me out and he says, he calls for backup. He walks me over to his car, cuffs me. His buddy comes over and they basically tell me to confess to smoking pot while driving. And I was like, I don't smoke weed. And they were like, we're going to search your vehicle. And then one cop goes over there and searches. Cop's like, just confess, and this is going to be a lot easier. And I said, confess to what? And they were like, smoking marijuana. I said, I don't smoke marijuana. And they said, just confess, otherwise it's going to get worse for you. And I said, there's nothing to confess to. I just worked back-to-back doubles, and I don't even have a bad back. And they accuse me of doing drugs. And I get cuffed, and I get pulled over, and I get carried. The guy searches my car without my consent. I said, I don't consent to the search. The cop walks back out with a nug, and he goes, what's this, sir? And I said, I don't know. And he's like, it's marijuana. I said, is it yours? And he goes, no, it was in your car. I was like, no, it wasn't, because I don't smoke. Not to mention, my entire passenger side was just like literally a pile of Taco Bell wrappers. Literally not a joke. I was 19. Cut me some slack. And so 3 cops ended up out. These 2 cops were standing next to me telling me I should confess. The one cop searching my car. Finally, this is how the game is played. My dad was a firefighter. He was a firefighter for 21 years, I think. He was a lieutenant. And I had a firefighter emblem in my glove box. And the cop walks back over and he goes, who's a firefighter? He's like, hey, kid, who's a firefighter? And I was like, my dad. And then he looks at the other cop and he makes a little hand gesture. They uncuffed me and they were like, go home, stay safe. Dirty games. I don't smoke. I've never smoked. I've actually, with all due respect, I have smoked marijuana on one occasion, one time with my friends as a teenager, and I did not enjoy it. And so I drank for like 2 years. I probably drank quite a bit when I was like 19 to 20. And then I stopped and I was like, this is dumb. I hate doing this. But smoking, it was like one time with friends. And I was like, yeah, that is not enjoyable. I don't want to do that. So as a teenager, never smoked, never drank, no tattoos, no piercings, working at the airport, getting drug tested, all that normal stuff. And these guys made up fake reasons to pull me over. It was late at night. I wasn't swerving. I was driving fine. I wasn't speeding. And I get it. So when this cop is on the job and he's rocking back and forth, the cops are going to call it a DUI. And they're going to say you failed a field sobriety test, even if you're just tired. That's the way it goes. Now, I'm not going to blame every single cop or whatever. I don't know Atlantis, Massachusetts. I'm not going to blame every single cop all the time for things like this. But I understand why people are upset. Now, here's the thing. This cop's on leave, and they're saying we don't comment. They said he had a medical episode. He experienced a medical-related episode. Let me tell you, I'm not going to come down on this guy for whatever it is, okay? He was in the passenger seat. I don't know if he was driving. He's been placed on leave. Looks like we've got appropriate measures. I'm going to say it again. I get why people are pissed off. The reason why this video's got 7 million views, the reason why everybody's sharing it and the video's going viral, because they're sick of cops pulling that on you and then they don't get in trouble. But I'm going to say it like this. I think we hyper-focus on the bad circumstances that go viral, and you don't see the good ones. Let me tell you a story. Brutal story. I think it was in Illinois. A car slowed down on the highway and started going on the shoulder, and then was like idling on the highway off the road. And then it was like hills on the side. It like rode up onto a hill and then rode down. The cops tried pulling it over and the guy wouldn't stop. They pulled out in front of him. His car hits the cop car. They get out. They drag the guy out. And I'm not sure if this one, like, there's a bunch of these stories, so it's like I'm probably confusing them. But they start roughing him up. They throw him on the ground. They grab his arms. They pull him on his back. I think this guy had a stroke because there's a couple stories. There's tons of stories throughout my life where a diabetic went to insulin shock or diabetic shock, and they look drunk. And they're like, and they're like, this guy's wasted. And there was one where a guy had a stroke, and they were screaming out of the vehicle, and he couldn't talk. And he was paralyzed, and they dragged him out, and they didn't beat him, but they were rough with a guy who was having this is why people are pissed off. There's tons of stories where a diabetic gets pulled over and they're like, he's drunk, and they rough him up. However, when we see those videos, when we hear those complaints, it's because someone complained, it was injustice, we get it. But how many times we get the video released where the guy goes into diabetic shock, the cops stop the car, and they quickly realize, and this happens all the time. So we've got a problem with this, with everything else, in that, my friends, when the cop does the heroic thing, they don't share the video. No one asks the body camera footage be released. The news doesn't publish the story. Sometimes they do. But all the time, cops are helping and saving people. More often than not, in my experience, despite all the bad things that I can tell you, all the bad experience, the only time I ever got tickets, cops were lying. Seriously, I'm not happy about it. I've also been saved from a mugging by cops. I've also had a cab driver hit me and my brother while we were driving, and the cops took our side and said, you're good, we got your back. I've had good and bad experiences with cops. Most experience I've had with cops have been inconsequential, either a minor inconvenience. I was talking to my wife the other day, because I said we got pulled over on the registration. It was like when I was 20. I got pulled over 4 times in 1 week over registration. All pleasant, minor inconveniences, nothing happened. So I'm leaving the airport, and I forgot what the road is. Like, it's north of, you when you're an employee, you enter on the north. And I'm leaving, and I'm driving down the road, and I got pulled over. And I'm like, I don't know. I got pulled over, and the cop walks up, and he's like, give your license and insurance. It's funny because in the movies, they're like, registration. Like, you said license and insurance. And I was like, here you go. And he was like, the reason for the stop today is that your registration's expired. And I went, oh, crap. Oh, man. And I was like, I'm sorry, dude. I work at the airport. I'm there all the time. And I just forgot. And he was like, no problem, buddy. Give me a second. He comes back and he's like, I got you a warning for the registration. Just want to let you know you got to get it updated. You know, take care of it when you can. Just try and do it real soon. And stay safe out there. And I was like, all right, thanks, man. That was it. A day later, I get pulled over again. Now, I had gone to a checks cashed. I took care of it, right? And so the second time I got pulled over, the cop's like, he's like, hey, man, just you have your license and insurance. And he's like, the reason I pulled you over is your registration's expired. On your tags are expired. And I was like, officer, I am aware. I actually got a warning yesterday about this, and I took care of it. I'm waiting for the tags in the mail. And he said, can you prove it? And I said, here's the warning from the officer. And he goes, can you prove you took care of it? And I was like, yeah, actually, I have the receipt. I showed him the receipt from a check. It was a checks cashed or whatever, currency exchange. And he's like, all right, you're good. Nope, just have a good day. He didn't write anything up. He didn't do anything. He said, you're good. I got pulled over 2 more times. The next time I got pulled over, I was like, howdy, officer, is it my tags? And he goes, it is. And I said, I have the receipt for the new tags, and I have the warning from the first officer. I'm sorry, man. Like, they told me it was cool, and that I'm like basically good to drive, but this might happen. And the cop, I don't know if you're allowed to keep driving in that regard. Like, your tags are expired. You know they're expired. You got them updated, but you don't have the tag yet. But I have to go to work. So I was like, I work right here at the airport. I'm living like 10 miles away. I already got a warning I got taken care of. I'll get the new sticker on as soon as possible. Cop was like, all right, sorry about that. You're good. You're good, buddy. And I got pulled over a 4th time. And that time the cop, because you know what it is they're all different suburbs. I wonder if they probably put in the system like it's taken care of. When the cop pulls me over, I got pulled over 4 times. Not kidding. And it was like $20 or something to get the new registration. And this time the cop pulled me over. I was like, howdy, officer. I just want to say right away, I got a warning for the registration already. I do have the receipt for the new registration. I got pulled over a couple times. The cops told me I was good just as soon as I get the sticker to put it on the car. And I apologize for wasting your time. And the cop chuckled and he's like, you have your license on you. You have the warning. I was like, here's the warning. Here's the receipt. Here's my license. And he chuckled and he's like, all right, man, you're good. You're good. Sorry for the stop. I get it. Super chill. And it was like in 1 week, I was super chill. However, I can tell you this. I had cops give me bogus tickets. No joke. I got my license suspended because I had 2 cops, one in Chicago, one in Berwyn, I think, lied that I was speeding when I wasn't. Quota probably, and they didn't care, and it caused me so much problems. My point is this: with this video, you guys tell me you think this cop is high AF. Is he high? Maybe. Here's what I think. They said he's got a bad back. They're basically saying he's on painkillers. Okay, so that's an issue. He shouldn't be on the job if he's got a bad back and he's on painkillers. I get it. However, if he took like Tylenol or like ibuprofen or aspirin or something, and he's on a double, and so he stands up and he's lightheaded from dehydration, that's just a medical episode. And I'm willing to bet that's what it turns out to be. The cops aren't acting like he's dying because they're probably thinking like he's wiped out. You know, he's dehydrated. They're not acting like he's dying or having a stroke or anything, which is kind of weird because they might be like, buddy, if you're dehydrated, you know, we should get you some water. Like when you're acting like this, even if you're high or not high, you should be sitting down getting water. It's a weird video. But anyway, the police said he's been put on leave and it was a medical episode. Maybe what does that mean? That his back was hurting, so he popped a painkiller and it messed him up? I don't think he was drunk. I don't think this guy was doing anything crazy wrong. And this is, you know what I got to say, man? There are good cops, there are bad cops. There are problems with the police institutions. I get all of that. But I can't stand this all or nothing, everyone hates everybody. I understand what it means that the police institutions are structured a certain way. They say, don't talk to cops. It's like, well, that's not practical. And I get it. I watched this video where a college athlete gets pulled over and she sings like a bird. Cop pulls her over and he was like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm DDing. And he's like, have you had anything to drink? She's like, no. And she's lying. She blew a 1.4. She was wasted. She sang like a bird. She got in trouble. It was really bad for her career. I think it like ruined her college athletic career. I don't know. But I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to have sympathy for a chick who was drunk out of her mind driving a car, man. Choices were made to be an underage drinker and then drive a car. That's not okay. And the cop was very polite. Now, here's the thing. I will add this. When they say don't talk to cops, lady, what are you doing? You can talk yourself into an arrest, but you can't talk yourself out of one. If they're going to arrest you, they're going to arrest you. Lying to the cops not helping you. You have the right to plead the fifth. So, first of all, let me just say this. If you're drunk and driving, you're a scumbag. I'm sorry, dude. Not playing this game. Like, I get it. If you're like a beer and you're like what is it? What is it? She blew a 1.4, they said. I don't think that's true. Because that sounds like you die. Yeah, 1.4 is did they mean 0.14? Maybe they said 0.14. Because I think they said 0.14 because 1.4 is like death. She wasn't that bad. I think it was 0.14. I think I'm wrong. But 0.08 is the legal limit, meaning if you have a couple beers and you're like 0.01 or whatever, you're not inebriated. You're not wiped out. And you can actually blow. I watched this video where like eating bananas is actually really funny. Mouthwash, bananas, and chewing gum can increase your BAC. So that's why you don't blow. It's not because you're trying to get away with a crime. The reason why you don't talk to cops when they're investigating you or accusing you or there's insinuation that you did something super illegal is because you're only making it worse for yourself when it doesn't need to be. Now, granted, you committed a crime. I ain't gonna have any sympathy for you, whatever. But for this chick who was like singing like a canary, lady, just shut up and say, I'm just the designated driver. And with all due respect, don't have much to say to you. Appreciate your efforts. That's it. Here's your ID. I'm not gonna submit to a field sobriety. It's not happening. And if they say, then you got a breathalyzer, that's not happening either. They say, then you're gonna go to jail. Well, I didn't do anything wrong. If that's what you're gonna do, I'm not gonna answer any questions. I'm literally the designated driver. That's it. Am I being detained? Am I free to go? Just, again, I don't want to, like, don't drive drunk. Don't be a scumbag. But I'm going to say, like, why this young girl was like, she's like, actually, yeah, I did drink earlier. It's like, just shut up. Just shut your mouth. What are you doing? Whatever. But anyway, my point is, the idea that you never speak to a cop is impractical. And people say it's because cops give you no choice. That's BS, dude. It's BS. Okay? There was a fight in New York, Antifa versus Proud Boys. It's mutual combat. Antifa was starting fights. Proud Boys ran at them. A fight happened. Antifa refused to give their info to the cops and fled. The Proud Boys, with smiles on their faces, gave their info to the cops. They got locked up for 4 years. Antifa got away with it. Because the cops are like, we don't care who you are. Gang violence is gang violence. These guys thought the cops were jolly old friends. That ain't how it goes. That ain't how it goes. Hey, whatever, man. I think cops are people. And cops are people within institutions. So I look at this and I'm like, if the cop was having a medical episode, I want to respect that. If the cop was you know what I'd say if I was there? If I was there and I saw the cops acting like this, I'd be like, excuse me, officer, I don't know if he's having a medical episode, dehydration, he's high or whatever it may be. I'm just humbly requesting this man be taken off the street. Put him in the car, give him a bottle of water, okay? And let's just call it a bad hair day, but he should not be working right now. Screaming in their face, you're going to lose your job. Going up and filming him and screaming is just like, you're earning no brownie points with regular people. If this dude is having some kind of medical issue, that's just as bad as when the cops dragged the diabetic out of his car. Hey, anyway, it is what it is. This is the way we live, right? Just try to be good. And that means cops or otherwise. But there are people like all cops are bad. And there are people like all cops are good. And I'm like, none of that is true. People are people. The job is the job. That's why I'm like, this cop shouldn't be on the job right now. For whatever reason, the other officers should have said, look, if I was the cop, if I was another cop, and this guy's screaming in my face, I'd say to the man, I'd be like, listen, this guy's not doing drugs, but I do think we got something wrong. Like, so we're going to sit him down and get him some water. And if he doesn't improve, we're going to bring him to the urgent care, like the ER or something, because this is serious. I just think he was dehydrated. Honestly, he looks dehydrated. He looks like he's lightheaded from dehydration. Maybe he's got low or high blood sugar. But I'd be like, bro, you're not going to scream in his face, okay? I'm going to take your job from you, man. Whatever. All right, man, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Stay tuned. We got more segments, youtube.com/TimCastNews. Subscribe to this channel. Man, I got to do better I'm just so bad at telling people to subscribe. Subscribe. Share the channel. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see y'all in the next segment.